All right, we're good to go. Hello, everybody. So happy to be here with you guys. And yeah, Leanna and I are going to be talking about inviting like a boss tonight because, the name of the game is Success Club, especially at the beginning of the month. And so we're going to talk about how to invite people to join you on this opportunity.
Do you want to mute everybody?
Oh, true.
You have control.
Okay, I think we should be good. Okay. And I'm just going to get started, and then Leanna's going to kick off with some of the good stuff. But first, I am going to share my screen with you guys. We put together a nice little PowerPoint, which I'm super excited about because it helps keep brains focused. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, can you guys see it? Can I see like a thumbs up or a nod or something if you guys can see our PowerPoint? Nice, I got 1 thumb, 2 thumbs up. Okay, so inviting like a boss. What we're going to talk about is kind of the importance of inviting, as well as give you guys tangible tools and things you can say or ideas to run by, and also this process of how to invite. Because the last thing you want to do is send like a cold call message to somebody. Hey, we've never talked before, but I think you're cool. Do you want to join my accountability group? Or do you want to join my team of coaching? People can find the Beachbody programs and products and meal plans online anywhere by themselves if they'd like to. They're going to join because of you, not because of the products. And so building that connection is crucial to finding success in your business. So to start, just minimize that. Okay. A few things to just remember. If you are a brand new coach, like if this is your first week coaching, or maybe you're not a brand new coach, but this is your first week or first time that you're starting to actually work the business per se, you're inviting. Somebody's gotta be muted. Piano playing. Everybody, there we go. I don't know why I should not even mute you, Kelsey. Can you hear me? I'm clicking mute and it's not working. When she joins back in, I'll fix that. It's good, some good piano music though. So if you're a brand new coach, like your inviting is going to start with the people you know, and we call that your warm market. So start talking to your friends, your college roommates, your sister, your cousins, your family, some high school colleagues, friends, coworkers about this program, and more importantly, this community that you've become a part of, and talk about who you were and how you were feeling before this community, and then transform that into how are you feeling now. So share the before Beachbody you and the during Beachbody you, and how has being part of this community helped you grow, both in your health and fitness, as well as in your self-confidence or as a person, or with being, feeling driven and having a clear set of goals. And then along with that, start reaching out to your cold market. Your cold market are the people that you don't know personally. So that would be, random followers on Instagram, or people who like your Facebook like page, or doing your own research into hashtags or brands you like, and finding people that you think would be a great addition to your team. That's your cold market. And so many times I see new coaches kind of wait to start talking to their cold market until they exhaust their warm market. And what happens is then there's this lull of time because your cold market I don't think I've ever had anybody say yes first time I asked them to join me for my cold market, because they're going to see that you're a real person, you're talking to them, and they're going to watch you for a few months to see if you actually do continue to show up, if you are actually somebody who they can trust with their, biggest concerns or fears with their health and fitness journey. And so you start reaching out to them now, so that in 2 or 3 months, when your warm market is exhausted, these people will be coming back to you because you have invited them, you have started talking to them, you had started growing that conversation with them. And so if you're a brand new coach, talk to your warm market for this month, but start reaching out to your cold market as well. And if you are not a brand new coach, you should have already been talking to your warm market. If you haven't been, now's a great time to start. And then continue that every single day, starting new conversations with new people in your cold market. Every single person that you talk to will become a future invite in one way or another. Some of them might take longer than others. And keep in mind that the first time you invite somebody to join you, probably not going to be a yes. But what happens is you plant this seed, and then anytime where your posts show up on their newsfeed, they'll pay a little bit of extra attention to it because they're like, oh my gosh, like I kind of know this girl. I feel like I can relate to her because we've been having this great conversation. And Leanne is going to go from here and talk about those conversations in a lot more detail on how to pick them up from there. And I'll wrap it up in the end.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Yay! So I'm going to share my screen too. We have the same PowerPoint, so let's see if this works. Okay, so I just have to go into this what I do? I've never done this. Oh, yay! Can you guys see this? Maybe? I mean, I can't hear you, so actually you can. Okay, awesome. I'm going to go back into it. Okay, awesome. All right, so where were we? So we're going to talk about Instagram first, because that's pretty much where both of us have built our businesses, and where there's just so many opportunities to build your business, which is just crazy to me, because in the old days, coaches talk about how they had to, go to public places and build their tribes that way, and that would be so cool, but how many places can you go to see however many people you want to add to your tribe and build your business with? And so Instagram is so cool, because there's everybody in the world we have access to, so we get to talk to them. But it can be oftentimes really scary and really awkward to start talking to people on Instagram at first, because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know this person. And so the way that I look at Instagram is I treat it like a party. I treat it like, if I went to a party and I didn't know anybody else there, what would I do? How would I start talking to people in this party? And that's kind of how you want to view your invites. So invites always start with step 1, which is reach outs. So you can't invite someone you don't know. So like Megan was saying, you don't want to just cold market, send out this random invite to a person. If you're going to a party and then you invited that person to a coffee date or to a restaurant with you, that would be super awkward because you don't really know them. So you want to first get to know them. And so step 1, that's why it's reach outs. Because trust building is the first step to somebody wanting to join you. And honestly, I wouldn't want a random person to join me, because what if they didn't line up with my tribe and my group of accountability girls? That just wouldn't work out. And so that's also another reason why it's so important to get to know the people that you're trying to add into your group of people and your tribe and your accountability groups, because you want everybody to go together. You all want to vibe together. So go back to when your coach first invited you. So maybe one of us, you can remember that time when we popped the question on you, or we started Instagram messaging you or DMing you or whatever. And think about if it were from a random person you'd never met, would you be more or less inclined to join? If I had just popped a question on you guys instead of actually getting to know you, would you be more inclined to join me or less? If you actually got to know me, you'd probably be more inclined to join. So just put yourself in your client's shoes, and then it kind of helps with that first reach out step. So Megan also mentioned ways you can like do those reach outs, finding people through hashtags or like new followers or people. Like I really love Lee from America. She's an Instagram blogger. And so I'll go to her followers, and oftentimes with her followers, I will like look through the followers and see if that person kind of resonates with me. And then I'll send them a reach out and be like, hey girl, I love your page, blah, 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 blah. We have this in common. So that is the next step. Is step 2, find a connection. So this can be, like I said, on step 1, like with your reach out. This can be on your message number 2. This can be within your message number 3. Like those first messages with people, all you really want to do is find this connection and ask yourself the question, like, what do we have in common? Because that is how you're going to make a friendship with them. Like that's how we all have friendships with each other. It's built off of like our similarities. And so you want to ask yourself that question. And then the slide says, like, the conversation lets you find out your prospective client's needs, values, wants, struggles, motivations, fears, etc. So, like, when you're asking people, you know, about what you have in common, like your dog or yoga or your passion for avocados, like, it's going to help you get to know what they care about. And so it's going to ultimately, like, help you understand a way to help them in the best way possible. So next is step 3. So finding and creating a connection to health and fitness. So you've already made a connection with them on like what you guys have in common. You've already talked about that. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's your dog, maybe it's that you like flowers, whatever it is. Find another connection and another thing you have in common that can transfer over to health and fitness. So like yoga is a really easy one. Like a lot of times girls who are into yoga, I'll ask them like, do you also work out? Because a lot of yogis do work out and a lot of yogis don't. And so it's a really good transitionary step because yoga is an active thing. Like it's a thing that people do who are trying to get healthy usually or mentally healthy. So you can talk about hiking, you can talk about swimming, baking, cooking, like, because those all kind of relate to like health because you can be a healthy baker or a healthy cook. You can ask if they're plant-based. You can talk about sports. You can simply just ask them out of the blue. Like, it's not wrong to do this. Like, even if you feel awkward about it, like, just say, are you into health and fitness too? Because if they're looking at your page and, like, getting to know you as you're chatting, which they might be, they might not be. If they are, they can see that you're into health and fitness as well. So that's, like, a really easy just step. And then, again, like, this is going to be messages 3, 4, and 5. So it's kind of like the second step in those messages after you've already sent the reach out and then you've started creating that connection over commonalities. And then again, like go back to you and your coach's conversations. Like what got you into this conversation with your coach? And when they first asked you, like, are you into health and fitness too? Like, what did you respond and how did that make you feel? Like go back to your original conversations and use that as kind of like a blueprint for the people you're talking to moving forward. So step 4 is share what you have been doing. So after you've asked them, you're already talking to the person about like their health and fitness journey. Maybe they answered really like this long paragraph of like their health journey. Awesome. Maybe they didn't. But what you need to do then is just share a tiny little bit about yourself. It doesn't have to be like this long, drawn out story of your entire transformational journey. Like just give a little bit, a little snippet, like a taste of what you've been doing and like if it's been working and how you've been loving it and share about how you feel. So like here's an example we put up here. I've been doing this new workout program lately and I'm loving it because the workouts are only 30 minutes long. So, you know, a lot of people don't have a lot of time and they want to get healthy. And so time is one of those obstacles. You can just like call it out and say, like after they talked about their own health journey, maybe they said something about time. This would be a really good message to send to them then. Say, I've been doing this new workout program and I'm loving it because blah, blah, blah. It's not that much time. Or you can literally just talk about anything that you love with the program. You can ask them, what have you tried in the past that works or doesn't? And again, like talk about how you are feeling. What kind of results are you getting with whatever you're doing right now, whether it's like Lift 4 or 80-day obsession or 2B mindset. So ask yourself, like, as you're going through this step, so you're sharing what's working for you, but like, is there a problem with this message that you can solve for them? Kind of like what I just said, like if they're having an issue with time or if they're having an issue with convenience, like, is there a way that you can say, well, this is how this is working for me, and answer their problem? So step 5 is the actual invite. So obviously, like, you guys can see this is so simple, like only 5 steps max to invite someone to your group or to your coaching tribe. So first off, just don't hesitate. I know it's super scary at first to invite, and some days, like, I even get scared of it, and I've been doing this for like 2 years, and it's like, what the heck do I have to fear? Like a no, because a no is a seed planted, and a no is just somebody either saying like they don't need your help right now, or they don't need your help because what they're doing is already working, but that doesn't mean it will always work. It doesn't mean that there'll always be a no. I always say no's are not nows, because people will usually eventually come back, because the community we have is so amazing and so uplifting. So don't hesitate, eat the frog, be confident in what you have to offer people because it's worked for you. And then also don't be afraid to pair it with what has been working for you. So like on that last message where you're sharing, like, this is what has been working for me, like I'm only doing these 30-minute workouts and getting amazing results. Would you ever be open to learning more? Like, don't be afraid to pair those 2 messages together if you do want to kind of like streamline the process. And then again, just a few tips, like be direct, don't word vomit. And then these are examples, like, would you be open to learning more? Because when you ask that, like, nobody wants to be closed. At least I don't want to be closed. And so it's a really good way to like ask the question and ensure that they'll at least say, yes, I'm open, but maybe they'll share their hesitation. And then another one, like, this program made me think of you because I know you love this, and this, and it could help you with this. You'd love it because blah, blah, blah. If I sent you a video explaining more, would you watch it? So asking those like really open-ended questions would be awesome. Let's see. This goes ahead. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Okay, I just got out of the big screen because I wanted to double make sure that it was still working. Does this work for you guys? Like, can you still see everything? Okay, good. It just stresses me out because I can't see you guys when it's full screen. So I'm like, are they like still listening? Okay, so next, anyways. So just a last thing to remember with Instagram inviting. Make a list of who you've invited. Like, let's say that you are on Instagram and you invited, these 5 to 10 people or just 3 people or whatever it is. Like, what I do is I take a sticky note. It's super easy, like this small, and I write really, really tiny who I've invited, because I want to keep track of them and I want to make sure that I follow up with them, because if they say yes, like, I want to get them answers and the video or information or whatever. Like, I want to get all of that to them ASAP, like as fast as possible, because I want to help them like hit their goals or talk about those goals. And then also what I've been doing lately, and it's been working amazing, is making another list on a sticky note of who I'm about to invite. So maybe I'm having a really like awesome conversation with a girl and she's so cool and we resonate in so many ways, then I'll mark her name down on another list and say, like, get ready to invite her. Because sometimes in coaching world, we'll do like daily challenges, or like, if you guys have heard of the 100 challenge, like you invite 100 people in one day and it like just blows your business up and it's super fun. So sometimes that's really helpful, like writing down a ton of people you've been talking to, and then those people will be like opportunities to invite. You can also go to your Instagram messages and star them up in the right hand corner, and then you can like, that can be another way of like tracking them. The main thing is you just want to like track your conversations so you can make sure to get back to these people and not lose track of them. Because the worst thing in the world would be to invite somebody and then they say yes and they're super stoked, and then you're like, wait, where did they go? Or like you lose track, or you don't respond, and then they're like, wait, where did that girl go? So don't chicken out. You have like, treat it kind of urgently, like you have limited time. Because it's just going to streamline the process. It's going to make the other person excited. Like, urgency creates excitement. And if you're hitting a goal or something, then that will help you hit your goal too. And then just another few tips with Instagram invites. So when you're talking to people, ask open-ended questions to keep the conversation going. So you can ask like, how was your day? That's like an open-ended question where there's a lot of opportunity for them to say certain things. What do you want to achieve? What have you been up to this summer? Do you have any plans this weekend? They're all questions where it's not like one solid answer. And then when you're doing an invite specifically, so there's kind of like a difference here. invite specifically, you want to ask a close-ended question because that's going to help them create a commitment. So was this helpful for you? Yes or no? And that's what a close-ended question, wow, mind fart, couldn't think of that word. That's what a close-ended question is. It's yes or no. So was that helpful? Do any of those things speak to you? Could you see yourself being successful? Do you think that would help you reach your goals? Or we can go back to the original invite. Are you open to learning more? Yes or no? Because we honestly want to make this the easiest process for people as possible, because think about your health journey. Like when my coach first invited me to start chatting, I was super scared. I was like, oh my gosh, like she's really cool. I'm like, this is weird, but like, yes, I want her help. But at the same time, I don't want to talk to her about it because it's vulnerable. So then the second thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, this can be on Instagram, this can be on Facebook, this can be on any platform you're using to invite somebody. But it's a way to kind of like speed up the process. So let's say you have a goal of like Success Club 5, getting 3 people signed up by a certain date, and you're struggling with it. And so you need to get a lot of people involved in a short amount of time. So these are just some really good tips on how to get a lot of people involved. So one thing I do is I'll make a big call to action post. So we say a CTA. It's kind of like a group invite. You're basically just throwing it out there on social media. It's kind of like advertisement, like a modern day ad, like a billboard. You're just saying, hey guys, like this is my journey. This is where I was, and now this is where I'm at. And would you like to join me? Like end the post with a big call to action and an invite. Because all you have to do with that is you share your journey, like I said, and then you invite at the end and direct them on how to learn more. So some examples of like ways you can do this: you can make a post, like I said, and then you can direct them to the link in your bio where your form is. Or if you don't have a form yet, you can direct them to your email address. You can make a poll on your stories, and then like your poll can say, yes, like I've applied, or I'm in the process of doing it, or something like fun like that. I never give people a way to say no, because like it's cool if people want to say no that they're not joining me, but I honestly I want to spend my time and invest in the people who are interested in it. And so I'll give them, like I'm nervous but I'm applying, or yes, I'm already in the group, because it's just creating positive excitement. Another way is you can do that same call to action post, and then at the end of it you can ask them to comment if they're interested. So it's a little less pressure on them to go and fill something out. It's super easy. Like just comment below an emoji or comment, yes, I'm ready. Give them something that they can comment, so it's super easy. Another thing is doing a poll while you're working out. Say, hey, would you ever want to join me? And doing a poll, it just says yes or maybe later. Another one is on your story, like talking about your program, talking about how the results are blowing you away, or talking about the meal plan, just getting excited about it. And then at the end of that last video, like making a call to action in, sending them to your link in your bio or whatever. And then lastly, what I tried once, which was really fun, doing a live video. So pretty scary at first, but once you start doing live videos, like it just gets so fun. And you can talk like the same way. Like you can talk about the program, how it's been helping you, or if you're inviting to coaching, talk about your coaching journey and how you're loving the community or whatever it is. Like just share your story, like share your journey, make it simple, make it easy, and then invite them at the end of it. Like if you want to learn more, this is what you can do. This is where you can go. This is how we can chat, and just be excited about that. And then another way to kind of like continue this speedy invite process. So you've made the call to action, you've gotten it out there that you want people to join you and that you're really stoked about whatever it is that you're doing. So you want to follow up with that call to action post. By like the way that you can do this is you can go look back on who voted on your polls and you can message them. You can look back on commenters, people who liked it, people who watched it. And what I do is I create a message, kind of like one message, and I'll just say like, hey, I noticed you watched my story, or hey, I noticed you saw my post and you liked it. Are you interested in learning more about this opportunity? And so I'll just copy and paste that message to all the people to make it really streamlined and really simple. And then Megan is going to take over If you're ready.
Yeah, all good. I just need you to stop sharing your screen.
Wait, how do I do this? Do I just escape probably?
Oh, I can make you do it.
Oh, here we go. Stop share.
Okay. It's giving me. Okay. Yep. So we got about 10 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up real quick by sharing my screen with you guys, but I'm back a few slides. So give me a second to get caught up. I went a little too far. Okay. So the process that we're talking about is starting your initial conversation with somebody in your cold market, getting to an invite, and at some point getting their email address. What typically happens is they'll say, yes, I'm interested in learning more information. Great. What's your email so I can send you more information? From here, really, really important to track. Oops, there we go. Use a tracking system. I know Leanne and I both use Google Streak. If you don't know what Google Streak is, there are tons of tutorials online for it. And I'm sure both of us, either of us could point you in the direction for one of them. But that's where, sending all the details for the program goes. What's great is if you have a video created where it's just you explaining what you get when you sign up, how these programs have helped you, so you can send them that video plus some details on whichever program you think would be best for them. And say, are you ready to get started on your goals? Are you ready to make your goals happen? And if you get crickets, what's great about Streak is you can follow up with a ton of people at once. So I usually do, I think, maybe a mass follow-up every 3 to 4 months or so, or when there's new releases. So for example, when Lift 4 just came out, I sent a mass email using Google Streak to every single person who has ever expressed interest in joining us. And what's really cool is in Google Streak, you can create this email. You can personalize it, so it'll put their name in it if you'd like. Instead of saying like, hey girl, you can say, hey, insert name here. And it's short and sweet, but to follow up, starting with, I've been having a great summer, like here's an update on my life, but how have you been? Are you still interested in your reaching your health and fitness goals? Hopefully your conversation has been a little more personalized where you can speak specifically to one of them, but you don't need to necessarily. So what I have on the next slide is kind of an example of basically exactly what I sent out in August, which was modified from what I had received from a previous coach in our upline. And it's just like, hey, how are you going? Hope you're having a great summer, because this was beginning of July, I think I sent it out. And it's like, I just want to see if you're still interested in reaching your goals. Most people aren't going to be like, nope, I'm not interested anymore in my goals. Saying like, I don't want you to think I forgot about you, but I'm starting this new program, asking if they want more information in the details, talking about the results we've seen in the Before Lift 4, and are you ready to make your goals happen? So it's short, sweet, to the point. If they don't respond back to that, that's fine. They're still in your pipeline. They're still there for you to follow up with them. But just like how sending that initial invite on Instagram will make you pop up in their mind when they see your post on their feed, sending these mass follow-up emails remind them that you exist. You are still on this journey. You are still helping yourself and other people. You are still somebody they can come to. Even if it's been 3, 6, 9 months since you first had contact, you're still showing up. You're building that trust in the fact that you will keep showing up. So when they do decide to join you, they know they can trust you. And then last thing is just want to talk about objections real quick. We all have them, guys. And, Leah and I were just talking about it. This has been a big month of objections for us. So I'm going to talk about the 2 biggest ones that I've seen a lot of in the last week or 2, and talk about how to kind of combat them and just be like, no, like these objections are not real objections. And the biggest one that I've been seeing a lot is money. I don't have the money right now. I'd love to, but the cost is holding me back. And so if it seems that like everybody you're talking to, like everybody is saying, I can't afford it, I don't have the money, I want to, but I can't, it's too expensive. Ask yourself, are you sharing the actual value that comes with these programs? Have you shown the value of what we have to offer? That you have 12 months of personal trainers and workout programs and personalized meal plans, that you have a lifetime worth of accountability, that you get one-on-one coaching, that you get your shakes. Like, are you showing in your day-to-day social media, both in your posts and your stories, the value that comes with these programs? Typically, objections aren't real unless it's like the second or third time that they've said, no, like, no, I actually can't afford this. If it's just the first time they're saying they can't, probably not the real reason they're saying no. So, that's kind of like a time to take a gut check and say, okay, have I shared the real value of these programs? Have you shared client testimonials? If you don't have any personally, go into the groups and find some of the things that the other coaches are saying, or screenshot what somebody says and just like blank out their name, and just showing that these groups have meaning. These groups can have an impact on your life. So these are just a few kind of things that I have said or would say to somebody who says, like, I can't afford it. So one thing I said is, when you say it's too expensive or you don't have the money, like, what are you comparing it to? Trying to get a better idea of what they're expecting to get with this. And at that point, they're like, oh, well, $170 is a lot for, just home workouts. And it's like, well, it's not just one workout program. You have dozens of workout programs. You get 2 meal plans. At that point, I try and get them on the phone. Then I'll say, I know how you feel. I felt the same way until I said, how much would it cost if I didn't do anything? If I kept living in this unhappy, unhealthy body, like, what would that cost me in the future if I don't do anything? And lately, a big one that's been helping me is just saying, well, other than price, what's holding you back? Like, if price wasn't an issue, what's stopping you? We're under a minute, so I might need to like make a new one of these for a new Zoom for questions. But, or I'll compare it to, anything else in life. The price, you get what you pay for, essentially. And then lastly, time. And so that's where Lift 4 has been huge. And this might cut us off, and we can open up a new one for questions in a second. But asking, do you have 4 days a week that you can work out for 30 minutes? Do you have 2 hours a day? Or how much time can you commit to your health, and then offer a program that fits into what they say they can do? Or asking, how much money do you have to invest in your health and fitness, and offering a solution to what they think they can already offer. And then lastly, the feel, felt, found method. So I hear you. I felt the same way when I was full-time student teaching and a full-time student and in the classroom and coaching sports. But what I realized is I'm a better person if I spend 30 minutes in the morning focusing on my health. So that's the end of it. It's going to kick us off any second. So we'll open up a new one for questions. I haven't actually looked at the chat yet. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Yes, this video is recorded. Any other questions? It's going to kick us off any second. Okay, well, hopefully that was helpful. If there's no questions, then we don't need to open a new one. But if you guys have some, you can post them. And then we'll share the recording as soon as it's up. Thanks for hanging out on Tuesday. And yeah, we can share this slide, the Google Slides and stuff. Oh, shoot. Thanks, Leanna.
Everybody take a picture quick.